So long guys, time for the Bhangra Zone, and today I'm joined with Twinbeatz all the way from the US for the second episode of Grill and Chill. How are you guys finding the UK?
We're liking it, man.
It's nice.
The UK is nice.
It's a little different, but we're liking it.
What's the major difference that you found from kind of back home?
The major difference, I have to say the UK is a little far back than the US and Canada. You guys got to pick up your. You do. I mean, overall, it's just like I guess this is a little bit outdated in some ways.
Some places, some things are, yeah.
See, it's really weird because when I go over to Cali, to us it appears that Cali's outdated with the things that they do there. So kind of like, it's really weird because whenever we come back, like we'll just sit there and be like, they do this, and even like the Indian fashion over there for us is kind of, well, the women say it, that the Indian fashion over there is outdated compared to kind of something that was big in the UK 10 years ago.
That might be true. I've never really noticed that. But what part of Cali's have you been to?
Fresno,
Cali?
mostly.
So Fresno is actually, I feel like Fresno is kind of like, if you go to like LA or I say like San Francisco.
Are you talking about like more of the Desi culture?
Yeah, more Desi.
Okay, maybe the Desi culture is more updated out here.
Yeah, because the thing is with Fresno, it's really, I call Fresno the Pind, because the thing is Fresno is just a dense area of just loads and loads and loads of Indians.
Okay. Yeah.
And when you go over there, you can kind of see that Desi culture, but it just feels a bit more outdated than it is there. But I think maybe there's more to progress and more kind of further it can come compared to here somewhere, which obviously here you get the really, in the Desi areas you can really tell that they're Desi areas.
Right.
True.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I explained it too well. So why are you guys in the UK first off? What brought you over the pond?
So we had a few events. We had a wedding reception over the weekend, and then we had an event with Bhangra with Harj, and then we have 2 events with Desi Beats in Birmingham and London.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw. Is it your first UK wedding reception that you had on the weekend that you were DJing at?
Yeah.
How was that? How did you find it compared to?
Honestly, it was a lot of stuff, pre-wedding stuff, pre-reception stuff, like before the dance floor was different. I had to say for sure. We were kind of like, we didn't really know some of the things that were going on. Yeah. The wedding planner explained it, so we got a hang of it. Dance floor, obviously, it was. If you saw our Snapchats from the weekend, it was pretty crazy. Yeah. We liked it. It was fun. It was a cooperative crowd. Everyone was having fun. Yeah. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah, because here the wedding scene is good ball in the morning, bit of a break, and then you go to the reception in the afternoon. Whereas I know in America, it's you have your good ball on your Saturday and then your reception on the Sunday.
Well, some people do it like that, which I feel like is better in a way because like people can rest up and then have fun at the reception rather than be sleepy because you're morning to night type of thing, right?
Well, that's the thing, because when my sister got married last year, it's like the day you've got to pack so many things into one day that you forget everything, and it's like after the wedding we were just like, what even happened? It's really a blur. So what were the big differences you found? So I know you said before the first dance, what were the other big differences you found between was there a difference in crowd and kind of getting them riled up, or music selection in the UK compared to kind of songs that would bang more in America?
There is like a difference, I guess, between the music selection in versus the US, Canada versus UK. I guess like a little bit more people do like the old school out here. Yeah. And
it depends. I mean, I guess it's always different with every crowd.
Yeah.
Out here, we kind of noticed the crowd that we had was more into old school. But like even if you go to the US and Canada, there'll be some crowds that would like old school too. It's kind of more about reading the crowd at the end of the day. You gotta read the crowd, what they want. Yeah, it's always the main thing, I'd have to say.
So with the weddings you get over in the US and Canada, do you find that a lot of the UK Bhangra music is kind of sipping over into what they want to be listening to, or is it more the majority of India Bhangra or the Canadian EDM style, which is huge now? It's kind of people like Intense, Jasmine Sandler's.
It's definitely, I mean, the UK Bhangra doesn't really transfer over to the UK, US that much anymore. Like, but I'd have to say, it's more of like the Desi hip hop out there, like people, like artists like Karan Aujla, like Deep Gundu, that like bangs out there, right? And I know that isn't so big out here, right?
It's getting there, but
just stuff like that, just
especially in like California, I'd say.
Right.
That type of stuff we bump in a lot more. Depends which areas you go to be honest, because like if you go Canada, Vancouver, I feel like it's a little bit of a different vibe than Toronto. Of what's being, the music that's being dropped at these receptions is more about just knowing like what crowd wants what,
Yeah. So you guys obviously primarily DJs when you started off, and then you kind of hit into the music production side of things. How did that come about? So you had a couple singles, now obviously you dropped your album Dream Big, which is huge. how did you? What was that kind of conversation like between yourselves? What was that whole process like of trying to take it from? Because you get a lot of DJs, especially within the UK, that will release 1 or 2 singles just to kind of keep their name out there, keep their promo out there.
Right.
But for you guys to drop an album as DJs is kind of something which in the UK doesn't happen much, because DJs just want to keep their DJ bookings here.
Yeah.
Obviously, no offense to DJs out there, but that's in my mind it just works as promo.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously for you guys, you put a lot of work, you put a lot of time, you put a lot of money into the album. So what was that process? Why did you want to go from kind of DJing to then into that music production side of things?
So so we pretty much we thought we wanted to go a little different. Like we were doing mixes, mixtapes, mashups, all that stuff, right? So we're like, we wanted to do something different. There are DJs that have done albums in the past that we know of, right? They've done their thing with it. So we're like, yo, let's venture out, do something different, right? First album, it was decent. I wouldn't say it was the greatest album. Like, it was a learning process for us, for sure. Now the stuff we have coming now is a lot more, I'd say for sure, definitely a lot better than that stuff that we have, even the stuff that we're about to release still. So pretty much, we wanted to like go out into a different direction, see what else we can do. Yeah.
So it's kind of the dream with that. Is it to stay within DJing, or is it to then dabble in that whole side of production, or to kind of have the best of both worlds with that?
Yeah, well, we definitely want to take this to the next level. Like even, I mean, we want to keep releasing music in the Punjabi industry, then go higher and higher, mainstream, like whatever we could do with it, right? We just want to be creative, whatever. We want to put out good content, you know. So we just want to wherever it takes us. We just want to go with it.
We really have no like limit. We don't want to say, oh, we want to be the best music producers, right? We want to do we want to keep doing our thing and see where it takes us, you know. At the end of the day, and we want to keep it open. We don't want to be like, oh, only Punjabi industry, that's the only industry for us. No, man, we want to do whatever we can, right?
Yeah.
Like open to working in any industry, to be honest. Like music's music, whatever, you know. There's no restrictions in music, I'd say.
So is there any influences that you have, or kind of influencers that you look up to within, might not necessarily be the Punjabi music, but kind of someone you look at and think they're a really good producer and kind of aspire not to be like them, but to kind of be on the same level as they are, kind of producing the same content that they are? Is there anyone like that for you guys?
Dude, honestly, it's like there's so many good artists and like producers. It's like I wouldn't say we stick to one. Like we love music of like EDM DJs. We'll listen to like rap artists. Their production is stick to. It's just like everything. Like whenever I even listen to music, there's not one person I'll listen to. Yeah, it'll be everything. Like I like an open playlist of all different types of music. Punjabi music, rap, hip hop, EDM, everything.
Yeah. So even like when you saw our album, like our previous album, there wasn't like one genre in it. Yeah. There's a mix of like all different things, right? Yeah. It's just we listen to artists or music, songs that sound good to us, you know, sounds good to our ear, and then when we create music, it's the same way. Whatever sounds good to us, like it doesn't like it could be pop, it could be R&B, hip hop, it could be anything, just like whatever we're feeling, whatever sounds good to us, you know. And
there's honestly so much talent out there right now. Producers, even Punjabi industry, American industry, everyone's creating some good content, like music wise. So it's like there's really no like for us like, yo, I only like this guy, you know. Yeah. Like, I can listen to a lot of different producers and they're all doing good work.
Yeah, definitely. So do you have any plans to kind of introduce any UK Bhangra style tracks? Obviously, you know, the UK Bhangra style is, compared to what's coming out of Canada and stuff right now, over there it's primarily kind of drum and bass, EDM style, whereas here we like to keep it folk, listen to people like True School, Ghost Sidhu. Is there any plans for you to kind of introduce any of them into any of your future work?
I mean, we'd love to, honestly. It's like, let me think, do we have anything? No, we don't really have anything like that right now, the folk type of vibe, but yeah, if we can get like a hold of any artist, folk artist, we would definitely like be down for it, you know? It's not like something that we don't like. We love folk music, like that's what we grew up listening to, right?
We've always loved like the UK style music, like 90s, 80s music. That's like honestly my favorite era of Bhangra music. Even like the music that's coming out right now, JK, is amazing. JK's like if we could get artists like that to work with, we'd love to, you know. I mean, again, we don't have any restrictions to what we're doing, but it's just like what's coming our way, kind of what we're working with, what we have type of thing, you know.
Yeah. So, is it more that, so kind of, you said the 80s, 90s stuff.
Yeah.
Does that kind of resonate more with you because it was that whole era of live instruments, live music? Is that something which you're into? Is that something which you consider? So kind of, I know some producers that are within the UK scene swear by the fact that they'll only ever use live samples, or only ever use kind of live dol, mandolin, sarangi, everything. Whereas I know there's obviously the other spectrum of people that are happy to use samples, that are happy to use loops, that are happy to kind of go on things like Fruity Loops and use whatever they have available to them.
Right.
Is there anything in there which is kind of, so I guess my question is, do you like the UK Bhangra because of more the authenticity of it, the kind of folk side, the original sound, or because in the UK there is obviously the other side of a lot of produced music which is using loops. So if you look at Punjab BMC stuff, Punjab BMC got called out a few years ago because people didn't like the fact that he was sampling other music. Personally, I think he did it well, but obviously there's them two spectrums of people there with what they do.
Yeah, so UK music, yeah, obviously we love the live instruments, right? But then again, I mean the digital music that it depends on what sound you're looking for at the end of the day. If you're doing like EDM, obviously you gotta go digital, right? It's not even about using loops. Like you can have your MIDI and whatever, like pop your Serum, Massive, all that stuff into it, right? Get the sound that you want, create that, and then the UK style, yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the guys don't play their own instruments, right? So it's like, then again, it's loops both ways, or I mean, however you look at it. If you're using loops in a digital platform, if you're using the loops, you're also doing that with the live music, right? Yeah. But I mean, the producers that are playing their own instruments, that's really good, right? That's like when it's you doing your own thing, right? Then again, we'll have live instruments in our music too, even if it's like American style music. Yeah. Like we'll have like a trumpet played if it needs to be, right? So, I mean, for us, either way, like it's pretty. I don't really think it's a big deal, right? Yeah. It's music coming out at the end of it.
That's the thing. You guys have a good attitude towards that, because I've come across a lot of producers, kind of do the work that I've been doing in the industry, that are really, they look down on other producers if they're not. So kind of here within the UK, it's such a close-knit circle that a lot of artists are using other artists' samples, and you can tell that there's pockets of different artists that are using each other's samples, and I think just kind of post 2000 that's been happening. You just get these little pockets, and mainly majority come from cities, so you kind of get these West Midlands people, then people like True School and Chaos, obviously their sounds are quite similar, and it's just there's these pockets of people that are using the same loops, but they'll also look down on other people that are using the loops, whereas I think over in America and over in Canada, you guys, it's a lot different over there. You're kind of happy with the fact, you embrace the fact that we've got samples in our tracks, we've got loops in our tracks, and you don't really look down on other people. And I think that's, personally, I think that's a shift that the UK should make, that if people are making good music, it doesn't really matter where that music's come from, because at the end of the day, if you're using a sample from, say for example, True School himself is a good artist, so it's kind of, it's a credit to your work and it's a credit to him. That's just personally how I feel. But so you guys came over, you did Bhangra XO. How was Bhangra XO? I've personally never been to a Bhangra XO event, but I see the Snapchats, I see the Instagram posts, and they seem quite wild. How was your first experience at Bhangra XO?
It was a great event, man. Bhangra XO, Harj, like their whole team.
Team was awesome.
Bunch of great people. It was a good show. It was fun. I mean, UK's always got, like, when I come to UK, I want to drop some old school Bhangra on my set. So I just love that. So it was a lot of fun, man. And
so you guys went to the Thursday night, and then you had the after party for Bhangra XO on the Friday night. Have you ever seen Sidhu perform live before?
No, it's the first time we ever.
How was kind of the experience? How was the atmosphere within the room when you were hearing Sidhu perform? Because it's the first time he's come to the UK.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some stuff happened. He only performed for like a few minutes. So I mean, it was crazy though. Like the way that his fan base is and everything for him, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, everyone was there for him. But yeah, he didn't get to perform, so it's like. That was kind of a letdown for a lot of people.
It's a bit of a sore point, but I kind of understand. So I saw, I think it was Harj who put on Instagram yesterday, he had a live, kind of just bashing the people that, obviously if you're going to be leaning against the barrier and you're chucking bottles at Sidhu, that's not right. It's not really something that you should be doing. You spent £30 to come into an event just to chuck bottles at someone that's literally ruined it for about 400 other people that are in the club. But Sidhu himself, I commend him at the fact that someone coming from Canada, I think he's been around probably about a good year. He's been famous. The fact that he can come to the UK and sell out like that. So on the Friday night, how did you guys find the reception for yourselves? So kind of club event in Leicester, kind of again a big play. There's a lot of Punjabis there. Club nights. There's a lot of club nights in Leicester now. Birmingham not so much for the Bhangra scene, because a lot of students in Leicester. A lot of people that listen to kind of contemporary music. You guys are in that scene right now. How did you find it DJing in front of this crowd?
Yeah, it was good, man. It was good. I mean, a lot of people came out, whatever, supported and stuff, right? And then all these guys, hard enough, all of them put together well. It was a well put together event. So it was fun, man. It was like we got to do our thing, we performed, and then we went out with the guys afterwards, had a good time. So it was good.
What were some of the old school Bhangra tracks that old school UK Bhangra tracks that you dropped on that night?
What did we drop? We dropped Sajjana Ve Sajjana Gurdas. We dropped. What else did we drop?
Old school tracks that we
dropped. Tera Yaar Bolda, Tol Di Giroda. You know, just like the bangers. Just like that.
Get everyone going, man. You know?
That's the thing, because I bet you notice the second you drop something like Tera Yaar Bolda, the whole environment changes, and everyone just feels as if they're kind of at this wedding.
Yeah.
So, just want to talk again on the point of Sidhu Moosewala. How did you find his new album?
His new album, it was good. It was awesome. I like the skits that they had in there too. A little bit of old school UK style.
Well, that's the thing, because what I noticed, I thought, the guy coming from Canada, he's obviously got his influences from Canada and India. The way he dropped, I've never heard an album like that. So the guy who I had on the last show, GV, said that a lot of the time span of UK albums now is a week, and that's it. Everyone just kind of chucks them away. Nobody really wants to listen to them. Whereas I think an album like Sidhu's has that lifespan, kind of that long lifespan.
Yeah.
But it's a bit. There's obviously tracks on there. I wasn't too much of a fan of his Senti track, I'm Better Now. I think that's what it's called.
Okay, I remember that,
Yeah, I'm Better Now. But I think, like you said, the skits and stuff brought me back to a time, because in the UK, skits used to be mad. Like, you'd get Jazzy B on an album, Shinda on an album.
Yeah.
Skits,
We used to honestly, like, back in those days, we'd be like, yo, these skits are sick. Like, we had this, so even before we did Dream Big, we're like, yo, should we do skits in this? But then we're like, no, we'll save it for, like, an album that's actually, like, when we're like, you know, in the game, right? Because which album was it? I think it was Eco MC, right? Had the album?
Yeah, he had a few skits.
I think Call It What You Want or something? They had like the best skits in it. It had like the funniest shit. We're like, yo, we got our man Humzy. We'll be doing some skits too in our freaking albums. That would be crazy.
He'd be sick on the skits.
But he beat us to it. But no, that was good, man. I like that he did it. You know, it's different than what's been happening in the albums. You know, it's usually just like, yo, let's release an album. But he put some thought behind that.
Yeah, definitely. I think the skits do bring something new, because you get it a lot in English music, and I'm all for the Punjabi music industry to move forward kind of similar to how the English music industry is, because I think the English music industry works so well because of all the processes in there, but then I also understand that the Punjabi industry is unique for what it kind of does. But you just touched on your Locked and Loaded. I remember that was the first time I ever heard of you guys, and I think instantly I messaged one of you guys and said I really want to do an article, and kind of would you guys share it. But that was, I think, the first mixtape I ever heard that was over about 15 minutes. The first mixtape I ever heard that actually had somebody hosting it. What was the process behind releasing the Locked and Loaded mixtape? Because it was quite early in its time for mixtapes of that style, because now a lot of people are releasing mixtapes that are being hosted, that are over kind of half an hour. But what was the process behind you doing that so early and getting kind of...
It was actually Rise of Our City was the first one.
Oh, right.
That's the one. I remember you reached out to us.
Was it Rise of Our City?
Rise of Our City.
Yeah, sorry, Rise of Our City.
That was the first one. That was a few years back now. We just kind of came up with the words like, let's get a mix, let's do something different that's not happening right now in the industry, right? It was like basically people just releasing 10-minute podcasts, stuff like that, right? And we're like, let's do something different. And then we put this whole thing together, which took us, like, at that time, it took us about 8-9 months to put that whole mixtape together. And it was a lot of work. A lot of people are like, yo, release a mixtape. Like, we love your mixtapes, right? We're like, shit, dude. Like, it takes us, all right, now, like, Locked and Loaded took less time because we, Raspberry City was the learning experience, so Locked and Loaded took about like 5 months, I'd say. But now it's like, yo, us to spend 5 months toward just a mixtape, like we're trying to venture into the production scene, right? And that's just like a lot of time, and we're still learning the production game, right? So it's like a lot of time that gets taken out from that. 5 months back here now. If we spend 5 months, that's 5 months that we didn't spend on production work. What's our main focus at this point, right? But I think we might just do like a mashup or something again, you know, something like that. People like all that stuff too, so we'll do something shorter, not like a hour. You know, that's too much time. I mean, I know everyone loves those. Like, even when we came out here, everyone was like, "Yo, Locked and Loaded, Rise of Our City, those long mixtapes, we love them."
It's because the thing is, everyone here, what we're looking for. So I listen to mixtapes when I'm at work. I'm not looking for a 10-minute podcast that sums up. So I like KSR's podcast that he does that sums up the month's music, but I think you guys with your podcasts had this kind of these sections of this is this style of music, this is this style of music, and I think it was when you got old school in there as well. You kind of went old school, and I think it was at the old school part. I was like, "Yo, this mixtape is sick."
Thank you, man.
Did you guys find that was that kind of opened the barriers for you to get a lot of people recognizing you? A lot more people
that
kind
was
of.
Pretty much it, I'd say.
That was the point where we actually took it from just being like locals known in Chicago. We did like have somewhat of a people known us outside of Chicago, right? But then when that Rise of Our City mixtape hit, that's when kind of it popped off.
Yeah.
Everybody started reaching out to us and like started getting shared, started hitting an enormous amount of views. That's where it kind of started. Yeah.
So did that help your international growth as well?
Yeah, that definitely did too. Yeah.
How did it feel when obviously you just released? I imagine when you released it, you never thought it would do huge things for you like this. How did it feel when you saw this kind of a lot of international attention, people like myself that are probably a website you'd never heard of, someone you'd never heard of, reaching out to you guys saying, yo, I really want to feature this mixtape on my website. How was that feeling for you, and kind of did it inspire you to do anything else, or was that kind of the main inspiration behind your then Locked and Loaded stuff?
I mean, it was amazing, man. We didn't expect it. Again, we didn't like expect it to go huge. We didn't like even think about it. I mean, initially our dream was to be international, to take this to the next level. So we stuck to it, and it kind of did happen. Yeah. But we didn't expect, we didn't know what to expect. We just put it out, right? And then people hitting us up, reaching out. It was amazing. I remember we were sitting there like, yo, this is awesome. And it was like people sending in direct messages, Snapchat messages, everything. People were just like, yo, it's amazing. It was good, man.
Well, I bet it was that whole thing that overnight you guys became something that was absolutely huge. Because it was, even in the UK, before that, so I sent that over to a lot of people. He asked for a mixtape before when he was driving down, so I sent him Locked and Loaded. I was like, get yourself in the mood, listen to Locked and Loaded. But I think it's that whole thing that people want mixtapes that kind of obviously over an hour long, and you really get a chance to kind of show your skill and get your personality across. So even though it's someone else hosting it, it's obviously you guys had the executive production on it, you guys kind of told them this is the style that we're going for, and it allows you to expand your audience a lot more. But then I just wish the UK start doing things like that. There's a lot of things, so there's a lot of difference between the UK Punjabi music industry and the American Punjabi industry, but I think it'd be good if they could take notes from each other. But off the back of that, I just wanted to ask you, what's your biggest, so when you release your album and being over in the UK and kind of you being into UK style music, what would you say is the biggest difference between the two industries? So kind of releasing in the two industries, catering to two different audiences, I guess, because I imagine your album's audience was probably more predominantly the US and Canada style of music, even though you try to incorporate all genres, where someone in the UK would cater for JK style, kind of really folk music. So what, in your eyes, are the big differences between the two industries?
Dude, honestly, so it was like, I guess UK does have like an urban side to it too, right? So that's where I guess like our song Streets actually weren't really big in the UK. Out of anywhere in the world, it went the biggest in the UK. BBC was playing it and everything, right? Even Proper Love off the album, that was being played by BBC too. So I guess like, we didn't go like completely, we didn't have any tracks that are completely dissy, like folk. There was Snapchat, right? Snapchat was like, a little dissy hip hop, right? Bapu was kind of dissy, but we didn't. Again, we didn't go completely like, we didn't have like a straight folk track on it, right? And there's more of like a mix of Punjabi and urban on the album, I guess, in a lot of ways too. But yeah, man, that's what it was. I mean, we didn't really like think about, oh, should we drop a track for the UK or anything like that, right? We just kind of like did our thing and just put together an album, I guess, in a way. So with your music, are you led more by, are you kind of the type of people that will sit down, plan the album, plan this type of songs? You aren't really the type of people that will just hit the studio with the singer or get the singer to do a vocal and just kind of let your fingers do the work?
So for that album, before that, we never had any like production work out, right? So it's like hard to get artists to be like, yo, I want to work with you, right? Definitely. So we just had like local artists that weren't like the biggest names, but they were like really talented. So we had them send us their vocals, whatever they had, and we didn't record with them. They recorded wherever they were. They sent us what they had, and that's what we worked off of that. We didn't really have a choice of like, yo, we want this, we want that, right? Whatever we were given is what we made.
And of course, all great artists on our album. I mean, they all did an amazing job. I mean, we got good lyrics at the end of it. We got everything right. I mean, we didn't have the biggest budget. Like, let me go to the biggest artist. Let me go to the biggest lyricist, get lyrics right. So obviously it was done by local artists, like people that are trying to get up just like we are, and we kind of just got it going like that.
I mean, it's admirable because the thing is, a lot of people now want to release music based on the people that are on the track. So obviously, the kind of a perfect production is like Deep Jandu on the music, Paramish Verma on the video, Gold Media representing you on your PR. That's kind of your dream package. That's everything you want. Whereas for you guys, it's quite admirable coming into it, choosing people that probably weren't known as much in the scene, being producers that were fresh to the game.
Yeah.
You obviously had your DJ following, but I imagine it was also a big risk taking this audience of people that enjoy you for your mixtapes and trying to convert them into people that like your music and like your style. So obviously it's quite admirable. And hats off to you guys for doing that, because it is a really big achievement. But I just want to ask, what's kind of going forward? What's the future? Where do you want to head from this now?
Yeah, so we have a lot of content sitting, man. It's just like we have to find the right.
Release it then.
I wish it was that easy, but I mean we have so much content sitting right now. We've been like, I mean recently you probably noticed we haven't been putting out a lot of content. It's been kind of like, it's just been more because we have so much stuff in the works, and getting it out in the proper way is what's more important to us than just throwing it out, right? So we have stuff we just have so much stuff. I don't want to name it all right now because some stuff in the works that's big, but
I can mute the mic.
yeah, man. But we just got so many projects. Punjabi industry, American industry, mainstream. We just have all this stuff working in the works right now, and then we're just waiting for the right moment to get the right deals on it to get it out. You know.
But otherwise, so that's like production-wise, mixing-wise, like mashups and stuff. We do want to keep releasing them, like even single song mixes, like here and there, right? I know like everyone loves the mixtapes, but like that's I can't really promise that happen again. Like of course, even if we release a hit song, huge song, right? Still people are gonna be like, yo, Twinbeatz mixtapes, right?
No one's ever happy.
That's like that was a thing of its own for us, right?
It brought us up.
Mixtapes was whatever.
Yeah, I mean you were probably working on the mixtapes in this point where you're trying to build up your career.
Yeah.
And obviously having 2 really successful mixtapes, people don't understand the fact that you guys are probably always touring. I see it on your Snapchats, on your Instagram, that you barely go home these days. It's like you're like, I'm at home for the next 4 hours and that's it. And I imagine it's kind of a huge strain in your life, but a lot of people probably don't realize how busy it is.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of work. We don't sleep much, to be honest. Like,
what is a typical day in the life of Twinbeatz?
Typical day is we wake up at 3 p.m. I mean, after sleeping at like, I don't know, like 7, 8 a.m. But we literally just work on music, go to sleep. Actually, work on music, go to the gym, go to sleep, and repeat, basically. I mean, some days we only sleep like 3-4 hours. Some days we go like 2 days, 3 days without any sleep. So it's just like we have, because so many deadlines, so many projects that we're trying to hit. I mean, we even do a lot of our own videos now. So like a lot of the new tracks that we're coming out with, we shot those videos, edited them.
Crazy.
And we learned it all. Like we sit there, we try to learn how to do video. We obviously production. All of our artwork for our albums, like we do that all ourselves. So it's like,
your artwork's done yourself.
Yeah, so everything is
we're trying to keep everything. We've learned everything from scratch. Like we're trying to keep
how long did it take you
else.
to get the production side of things?
It takes. I don't even know. I can't even think of how long it takes, man. We take so much time to make sure everything's perfect. Like, and at the end of the day, if you learn how to do something yourself, if we know how to do a video ourselves, we get to put our own vision into the thing, right? Yeah. It's like we tell a videographer, I want this, I want that, right? He's not gonna see what we see.
Yeah,
so,
you get your vision, man. You learn everything yourself. You know, some people want to make the excuse, yo, I'm the only guy. They got 2 people. They got Twinbeatz or 2 people. But hey, we're doing more than what 2 people should be doing, right? We're doing our live gigs. We're doing mix making, production,
how do you find
videos.
I just don't get how you find time to do it. Is there not a point where you just think, fuck it? Do you never get that point in your mind where you're just like, fuck it?
Yeah. Sometimes my mom, like, she wakes up for work and she's like, what are you still doing up? She's like, she literally saw me up the next day, didn't sleep, and she's like, what are you still doing up? Yeah. So it's like literally, I mean, you gotta sacrifice your sleep. You gotta sacrifice, like, we don't go out, we don't like party or anything. If we're like out of town, like right now, obviously we can't really work on some of the stuff that we can work on at home. So we have some time we can go out, right? But when we're at home, there's none of that. You know, I don't think I've turned on the TV. We haven't turned on the TV for the last 6 years. I don't even know what's going on half the time. Like people are like, yo, have you watched this TV show? Have you watched the NBA? Like we love basketball, so we play basketball, but we never even watch the NBA games. We don't have time, you know.
How do you find time for basketball? Because it's like you guys are either at a gig making music or playing basketball.
That's the stress reliever, bro.
That's the one thing we have to do.
Lifting, like, is the stress reliever every day. Like, we need that.
Because wasn't it the other week that you had a tournament and then you had a gig like before the tournament or straight after the tournament?
That weekend we slept like 1 hour total, bro.
That's one of those weekends we slept. In 3 days, we slept a total of 1 hour, 2 hours. It was insane.
Did you win the tournament?
No, we got Final Four though.
Oh, that's alright then.
We should have won.
It was a very competitive tournament.
We lost it ourselves. Our team couldn't hit a shot. Otherwise, that was we should have won that. Yeah. Or at least we should have got to the finals.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. You guys find so much time to do all of that stuff. But I mean, like you said, I guess it's a release that you're so busy that you need to find that time to just depressed, because I see it a lot in the Punjab scene as well, where a lot of these music artists, it's like suddenly they just get ripped.
Yeah.
And then I asked someone, I was like, why is it the fact that like 6 months ago you were really skinny and now you're just hugely ripped? And it's just like, between shows it's so demanding, because in India they do about, like Jazzy does about 3 weddings in a day, and then they'll go do a medal afterwards, and it's like, they need this kind of stress relief there. They need this whole, how important to you is that stress release that you get? So kind of, does it affect your work if, say for example, you don't go play basketball for 2 or 3 weeks, or you don't hit the gym for about 2 or 3 weeks? Would you find that affects kind of your day-to-day mood, your work?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think like on a daily basis, if I don't go to the gym, like we don't go to the gym, it doesn't feel right. Like I have to, like, we have to take that little break, you know. You can't just go straight 12 hours just working 14 hours. Then you need a little release from your mind, right?
It gives you, going to the gym gives us energy too, you know. It gets your adrenaline going. It wakes you up.
Yeah.
Is there anything, so wrap up the interview at this point, is there anything you guys want to say to any UK singers? Firstly, to any UK singers, are you open to work with any UK singers that are kind of looking to be recognised? Or even people like the likes of JK, people that are huge here, are you kind of open to work with anyone, any style?
Yeah, of course, we're open to work with anyone, man. We're working hard. We ain't the biggest people out here yet, but we're always working hard, you know. It's just never we don't ever think that we're too good for anyone, or too
if it's like the right fit for us, for what we're looking for, right? And like we don't, like, the thing is, we don't reach out to artists like, yo, work with me, right? Like, we understand they have 40, 50 other people saying the same thing to them, right? So it's like, we feel like we got to work to that point where everybody's gonna be like, okay, let's all work together, right? Like there's so many artists that have reached out to us, like big artists too, right? So like, we don't think we're like crazy good, like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna reach out to someone, right? But it's like, we don't want to be that person that are just like just bugging them, you know, like when there's a right time for both people, you know, and that's like what we wait for. We don't just like shove it in, you know. But I mean, JK, amazing artist, obviously. All these guys are amazing. Like there's so much amazing talent, and we'd love to work with everybody, right? It's just like whatever comes our way, whatever we feel is the right time, you know, for everything. That's kind of how we go about things.
You want to say to any DJs out there or any producers that are aspiring to be like you guys? Any advice? Any words of wisdom you can give them?
Yeah, guys, man, just keep hustling, keep doing your thing. If you want to do it right. Create your own style. Keep working at it. You gotta put away the drugs. You gotta put away the alcohol. You gotta put 120% into what you want to be. Besides, put 70% here and then 50% into like friggin' partying, doing all that. You know, that's what we did. We literally sacrificed our whole, pretty much, life in a way to do this.
It's all achievable. So, you can get there. Anyone can get there. There's no excuse.
Anybody can do it, man.
There's Twinbeatz. There's 2 of us. You can be DJ A and you can find a DJ B, and you guys can be DJ AB, all right? You can make it happen.
And that's all it is, man. You just gotta, whatever your passion is, you just gotta full out pursue it, not half-ass pursue it. And then everybody has the same opportunities. Everybody has the same road. It's just how you handle the road, how you go over the hurdles. That's how you get to where you want to be.
Definitely. We got Humsy Dumpty DJ C over here. You gotta find yourself a DJ Humsy Dumpty.
You gotta find yourself a Humsy Dumpty, then it gets wild.
He doesn't DJ though, but you know, he keeps the crowd entertained.
Humsy promised me he'd do one thing for me when I was texting you guys. I think it's that
bring
time.
Him here.
It's that time.
It's that time.
What's up, bro?
You gonna break it down for the camera, bro?
Huh?
You gonna break it down for the camera?
I'm good. What did you want?
You know what I wanted?
This?
I want everything. And I want the other thing that you scream on the mic.
Oh yeah?
At every event.
Sade munde da vya. Oh yeah.
On that note, I'm going to end the interview here. Thank you, all 3 of you, for coming down.
No problem, bro. Thank you for having us.
Episode 2 of The Grow and Chill. We'll be back for another episode very soon. Thank you for watching.
Peace out.